Expectations of women during World War I, World War II, and now? And how does this affect women having the privilege to work today? The expectations of women were totally different throughout World War I, World War II, and now. Women had major roles in helping during war as they helped with manufacturing things for war. While men were at war, they played a major role to take over their jobs. The Old Testament describes stories of women collecting water at wells and tending flocks, meaning that women were in need to support men in times of war. Institutional child care to support working mothers was created. Evidence of this type of institution exists from Civil War 1960 through World War II 1945. Women have worked as long as men, as evidenced by cave drawings that shows women toileting in fields and over fires. Women had completely different roles before the start of World War I and World War II, as they didn't leave their house and basically took care of their children. Before World War I and World War II, women at home had the roles of maintaining duties for their family and children, such as cleaning, caring for their children, and cooking for the family. The Women's Land Army was formed in 1917 during World War I, when the country was in short supply of labor within the farming industry. Due to many agricultural workers being in service, others simply were just not enough men, and so women had to come in and help. From a lady, Trudy Denneman, who had her part to play in World War I but is more well known for her efforts in World War II, the Board of the Trade then sent agricultural officers around the UK to persuade farmers to take women as labourers, farmhands, thanks to her. This was successful, and by 1917, there were 20 billion working women in farm labors. Women started having important roles in the society during World War I and World War II. Then, what that woman used to do before as Then what she used to do before, as more women started joining the workforce during World War I and World War II to help with the war when the men were away as they replaced their job. There were 14 million women in the workforce in the USA before World War II. Another 6 million joined in the workforce during the war. In both World War I and World War II, many men in the United States had to serve in war. Women took on many of the roles at home and traditionally belonged to men. Women in both wars took a tremendous time and with wounded soldiers during the war. One of the most ordinary jobs women took during both wars was to be a nurse. Women joined the military forces to become nurses that helped heal soldiers. During both World War I and World War II, women were called on to do work. In Great Britain, this was known as the process of delusion and was strongly contested by the trade union, particularly in the engineering and shipbuilding traders. Women started joining the services to help with war when men were busy working. During World War II, women's opportunities to do jobs that were normally done by men. A lot of women left poorly paid jobs to immigrate to better paid defense jobs. 600 laundries closed as a result of the immigration of women to defense jobs. And in Detroit in 1972, a third of the restaurants had to choose between whether they wanted women to work or not. Thank you.